Welcome to the Pillar Podcast, where we put racial equity front and center. Join us as we dissect equity policy, overcoming achievement gaps, and strategies that ensure equitable learning opportunities, experiences, and outcomes for all students.
Welcome to another episode of the Pillar Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Brandon, and today I have with me Mr. Justin Willis, another DEP associate. Justin is the coordinator of parent relations. Justin, how are you?
Doing well. Good to be here.
Good. So we are here in the actual clothing assistance program, which we can refer to as CAP moving forward. Very nice facility. Justin, kind of give us a brief introduction to Justin Willis in DEP. How long have you been with DEP? How did the CAP closet come into existence? Just kind of walk us through that.
Well, just last week, as a matter of fact, was my 19th anniversary of the JCPS.
Woo-hoo.
And it's kind of amazing. I don't know how that happens. But so I've been with the district for 19 years. The first 11, I was with the communications department. And so I did things like a district-wide newsletter, did social media for the district. I did so I would do a weekly publication called Monday Memo, which highlighted all the best stuff going on in the district. So it was a great overview of going to all the schools, all the departments, learning how the district works overall, and seeing the best stuff going on. So it was a good news job. I got to go all around, make photographs of things, write articles, meet all these dynamite people who are doing great things. I got to meet two Kentucky Teachers of the Year before they were awarded. I got to see them in their classes, what they were doing, and it was amazing. So after 11 years, I came into DEP, and I started in July of 2016 here at the Clothing Assistance Program. And when I came here, this was a location undergoing some transition. There was one employee here who had retired, and I took that job. And it was an operation that was in flux, I guess you could say. There had been a volunteer director ever since its existence, and that was in question, I guess. And so, fortunately, I'm glad when I came here, I was able to take the two regular volunteers that were here, and they are still here.
Nice.
I'm grateful because I would want to do it without them. So we've also grown those two regular volunteers to 7 regular volunteers. And from early on, my kind of standing orders was, take this place and make it better, run with it, do what you got to do. And there was nothing but encouragement from Dr. John Marshall and Giselle Danger and Selena Fishback about see what we can do here and make it happen. And so I'm grateful that I was given trust and a blank slate to see what's going on and to make it work. And so the roots of this place are pretty interesting. So in 1971, that's how far back it goes, before the school districts even merged, there were some moms, most likely, probably some parents, guardians, and families who noticed that kids at school didn't have proper stuff. It's always been going on, but these parents kind of banded together and literally formed a little closet to put some clothes in, and that was 1971. There's a picture out around the corner from 1974, and the ladies in that photo kind of remind me of the church ladies that I grew up with. They have the blue smocks on, and they're folding shirts, and their little wooden bins. So this place for more than 50 years now has been a place that was trying to look out for students who needed help and try to collect people's efforts and resources to provide that help.
That's awesome. This is my 3rd year in the district, and when I first heard about the CAP closet, right, I'm thinking literally a closet, like maybe a little larger than normal closet, but remember last year you invited me over for a tour, and I'm so glad that I came over here because I talked to many people some aware of Cap Closet, some not, and even the ones, some that are, have no idea the magnitude of this. This is not a closet at all. I want to backtrack a little bit. You threw out some heavy hitter names, Dr. John Marshall, Giselle Danger, Selena Fitzpatrick, who I work with as well. Great personnel, and I couldn't imagine any other individuals to kind of help, whether that's brainstorm or just provide support in growing this. Until today, I didn't realize it had been in existence that long. And to see the origin of it and to what it is now, man, kudos to you, for building a program like this. And essentially you're a one-man show, right? As far as district employees go for CAP. Can you talk a little bit about how you were able to not only sustain the original volunteers, but grow that volunteer base?
Sure. And thank you for that. And also, a lot of people were offered the chance to take a tour. I love giving tours. I've been in here for, 7 years now, and I can go through every corner and every box and every rack and say how something's changed or what we've done. I can show you things off the rack. So thank you for taking me up on that.
Yeah.
First of all, I think every time any organization goes through a transition, you've got a lot of people who have a kind of wait and see attitude, and especially for volunteers. When you think about the threat of employee turnover when there is a change in personnel, that's great, and people can take it or leave it, go or stay. And I'm grateful that the two people who were here when I arrived are still here. I like to think they thought it would be worth their time. I think they were curious about who this person was too showing up. Mm-hmm. I think they hopefully saw with me a willingness to be here, a desire to see it grow, and a true belief in what we're doing. I was not a newcomer to the school district, so I was well aware of the need in the district and a lot of the existing talent around the district, and how to hopefully start things up and get things going. I like to think that people saw me as a hard worker who was showing up, making this go forward, and that's why people volunteer, because they want to see things go forward. And also, my background is storytelling, so I want to be able to tell the story about this long history of this place that's been going on much longer than me. And it started, I guess I should say too, with the 15 district PTA.
Okay.
Even though before the school district merged, that's basically the group that started all this. So it's been a parent-driven, family-driven volunteer organization all along. So with all the right reasons. Yeah. So the people who come and volunteer here, and I'll tell you, two people specifically that came and took tours, because you never know where a tour is going to lead.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, somebody might be willing to make a big donation, but they want to see the place first. Two people, Ann Stein, a retired teacher from JCPS, and Julie Waterman, a retired teacher from JCPS. Julie's here today. They both were retired teachers in this district who knew very well the needs, how things worked. They had given their entire careers to teaching in the classroom. They had a lot to offer. They have youth, they have muscle, they have insight. They are dynamic teachers who have classroom organization skills, and were used to wrestling order into chaos. Mm-hmm. And so when they came to do walkthroughs, I showed them all the different opportunities. They saw it, and both of them seized on it. Yeah. And both of them, Anne, for example, she's a retired middle school language arts teacher. She is here probably at least 3 days a week, and she doesn't take breaks. Okay, that's just how that's the work ethic of a successful teacher, and they transition well to be a volunteer here. Same thing with Julie. She's in the back right now, stacking shoes for a move we got coming up. And Julie has also opened some pipelines of donations that have brought us hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of goods that we turn right back to students and families. So I like to think people come in here, everybody's got something to offer. Maybe it's their kids' clothes that they've grown out of. Maybe it's free time they have. Maybe they're wired to be like a really obsessive compulsive person who really wants all the hangers to be in the right direction and to clothes have proper tags on them. Yeah. Whatever your quirks are, we probably got it here for you. So I think people come here and they take a tour and they see a place for them and they see what we're doing. They see the families who come here to get things. They see the need. They see how they leave. They see dignity. And I like to think, I'll probably mention this more than once, but there's a poster on the wall over there that I made of a lighthouse in Maine, and there's a quote under it, and it's by Ella Baker, and her thinking is give people the light, and they will find the way. And the idea of this place, give people the story, give people the opportunity to be here and do this mission, and man, we'll shine bright.
I couldn't agree with you more. Down at the satellite office, a lot of people don't know that it exists, what type of resources are there. So I'm like you, I invite any and everyone to come down, sit in on a meeting, take a tour, because it's like the possibilities are endless. And a lot of us, we have to see it to believe it.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So I couldn't agree with you more on that.
On that one too, I would say, there's no substitution for firsthand experience. Mm-hmm. So you might hear about a closed closet, you got to come see it, or you might hear about a satellite office. Or if you're looking at schools, for example, that's what I always tell parents. Mm-hmm. If you're thinking about a school, you got to go into the lobby, see how the office treats you, see if they walk you through, see what students are doing in class. You got to see it firsthand.
That's that culture and climate at hand, Speaking on your volunteers, right? If someone wanted to volunteer, what are the steps one would need to go through? What could they expect, let's say on the first day or once they got here? Kind of talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I think one of the reasons that our volunteers like coming here is that a lot of places in town, if you want to volunteer, you're looking at a specific day, a specific task. That's not really the case here. The case here is that I'm going to be here Monday through Friday, and if you can stop by and do something, please do. If there's only one day you can make it, that's great. If you want to come here for 4 days a week and work nonstop, come on. So there's a lot of flexibility, and we'll work with existing schedules. The volunteers here, they have other things they do. 5 of those 7 volunteers are retired, so they've got maybe a little more free time, but they also volunteer at other places in town, so they're able to work this into their regular rotation. 2 of the people who volunteer here are educators with music educators or math tutors, so they're able to work around their existing schedule. So there's a lot of flexibility. And in terms of, volunteering here is really just as simple as reaching out to me. Probably the safest way to get me is through email, because I've got a methodical system of going through those. We'll set up a time to do a tour. You can kind of see what we operate. If some people need seated jobs, we can accommodate seated jobs. If you're looking to get some steps and be physical, we certainly got that too. So whatever skill set you bring, we need personal shoppers and clothes organizers and people who work with families. So whatever the skill set is, we got it.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the new location and
sure.
what you're most excited about in the new location.
Of course. So it's been here. The school district acquired this current building in 2006 and across the street. So we're going from an 8,000 square foot building to a 24,000 square foot building.
Wow.
And just, I can go down the list here. So we're going from a parking lot of 12 spaces to a parking lot of 60 spaces. We're going to a gated parking lot. We're going to a better entryway system that has a window in it. And I might appreciate this more than a lot of people, but when we have truck deliveries of donations, now they drive into the building and unload directly into the building, as opposed to going up a handicap ramp, up a ramp, through multiple doorways on a pallet jack. So in many, many ways, it's going to be significantly better operation.
Yeah, logistically, I can already tell, that's, especially for someone like yourself, that's going to be a major lift. And when you think about having your own space, something that's maybe more appealing, or well, maybe appealing isn't the right word, but more suitable
welcoming.
to welcoming. Thank you, welcoming. That matters when we're serving the populations that we serve, right?
And yet, not to diss where we are now, because we've had a really nice operation here, but it's down in kind of a sketchy looking driveway off a one-way street. There is signage, but it's not real obvious.
It's not real visible.
So you can go to Central games and watch football for years and years and never know that it's here. So we're going from that to a street-facing building that will have proper signage. It's a two-way street with a welcoming parking lot. Just so much more welcoming in every kind of way.
So, talk a little bit about the demographics and the populations, families that benefit from the CAP. Like, right, I know CAP is a district-wide initiative, but walk us through the types of families that benefit. Because I'm thinking that obviously there are some that are aware. Obviously, we're growing, right, serving communities, but there may be a family out there that may not know about CAP, or that they may something that have to qualify for. Kind of walk us through who we serve.
Yeah. So really, the golden ticket under most circumstances is that you're a JCPS family. So we're not going to check income. We're not going to make you prove that you have a financial need or some issue. And we prefer that all families who come here come through a school employee. So that's either a family resource center coordinator, which will be in elementary school, or a youth services center coordinator, which will be middle or high school. So those are school employees who know families well. They're in the schools. They know the students. If somebody is walking down the hallway and their shoes are flopping around because the sole has come off, or the shoes are 2 sizes too small, or there's a high school kid who is living on someone's sofa because they had an issue at home, these school service providers know that. And there's a weird acronym. I always have to pause because I use it multiple times a day, but it's weird to people. It's called FRISCY, which is an acronym for Family Resource Youth Services Center Coordinator. It's weird, but they're gems, and they are wonderful. And they are looking out for kids all over the district. They have an app that they're able to go to with us to find the student's name. They can enter clothing sizes. There's a note section where they can enter notes. So they can say, this kid's family had a house fire. They need everything. Or this kid's shoes are falling apart. They need a brand new pair of size 9 shoes. Maybe a child needs a coat. Maybe a child needs a new school uniform. Maybe they're being made fun of for some issue they can't help, and we can probably help with that too, with hygiene items or clean clothes or whatever. So we have such a deep assortment of things to offer. Any needs that the Friskies send to us, we can meet those families and get these students and families what they need. So it's really, we don't really do walk-ins. We're not really set up to have people walking out of the blue, because there is some technicalities ahead of time. We got to look at paperwork to make sure they're enrolled, and if we've previously served them, what did they get, and that sort of thing. So we track all that stuff. It works best when they go through their school provider. And maybe you've got kids at multiple schools. All you have to do is contact one of those Friskies at one of your schools, and they can sign you up either for a couple of options. Either an appointment. So on Tuesday and Thursday, traditionally during the school year, we have families show up for appointments, and they will come here. They'll greet a volunteer. Our volunteers will work with them to make sure they have things for everybody in the household. So that's kids enrolled in school for themselves, for kids too young for school, and we'll get them. We got stuff for everybody. Or we can have people work as personal shoppers, and that's something that really took off during the pandemic because we never closed. But that's really the bulk of our work now. Is we have Friskies who sign up people for needs, and we have a couple of specific people who can churn that stuff out, and they go through and they'll prepare bags for kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it might be new underwear, new socks, maybe they go to a school that requires a uniform, maybe not. Casual clothes, coats, pajamas, toiletries, blankets if you had a house fire, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
So there's quite an assortment we can provide for you. And then what that does, the Frisky will request it. As soon as it's filled, I'll send out an email with every day to a list of 15 to 20 Friskies to say, hey, your stuff is ready. Here's where it is. Here's the process. Come between 9 and 2 and get it.
Man, that's what I like to call turnkey. Like I'm sure, like logistically, that has freed you up to some degree to work on, organize, and plan other things, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. And so the bulk, the bread and butter of what we do are either the personal shopping or the family appointments. But our donations are such that we're able to host special events for these Friskies or for counselors or whatever targeted group we think we have something that might appeal to. Athletic directors, for example, we've given them truckloads of brand new Nike cleats and football pads and workout gear, thanks to United Breast Cancer Foundation and other donors. For example, we so in the 2022-23 school year, that's what we've got complete records for. So during that year, we hosted 25 either special giveaways or requested donations, and so that's where I'll post a Google form and I'll email it to all the Friskies in the district or all the counselors or the neighborhood places or whatever. And I'll say, if you want a box of large long sleeve flannel shirts for adults, click this box. If you want a gift set of Harry's shaving razors, click this box. If you want a case of 248 sanitary pads or something, click this box. And we've got one volunteer here that I can give her this Excel sheet where everybody's requested. We have labels ready. She goes through, she packages it all up. They either come get it or it gets ponied to them. So we're able to do all these kind of special distributions based on these really wonderful donations we get.
That's awesome. Shout out to Harry's. There's no sponsorship here, but I love that brand. And
Great quality.
That's a quality brand right there. Do you have a ballpark of how many families you service a year, a day? Is that something you're tracking?
Yeah, so basically everything we get, we have to account for somehow. So that the donors who give us things, I have to send them reports. So some of that stuff, when I have the Excel sheet about the Harry's razors or the Untucked shirts or whatever, I can just give them this Excel sheet and say, here's what we gave out of what you gave us, here's where it went to, here's how it'll be used. The other stuff we purchase through certain funds that have to be attributed to student ID numbers. Mm-hmm. So we have to keep track of how many students we serve with brand new stuff. During the 2022-23 school year, we served 5,401 students with new items. So that was either underwear, socks, casual clothes, coats, whatever. And that's kind of misleading. So those are the specific students that we put clothes on. We don't have a good way to track all the other kids in the family when they come for an appointment who may be getting things out of that, or the adults. Or when we host community giveaways, we can do a head count of who's coming in the door, but we don't know how many people. So so it's hard to put a specific number on that, but thousands, well over 5,400 kids.
Yeah, well over.
As well as adults and community members. So it's thousands of people.
What are your goals and visions for CAP moving forward?
Yeah, my goal is really to keep doing what we're doing, to keep growing this, to keep growing our community partnerships and offer great things to the community. And I think if you were to walk through like you did during your tour, you'll see there's not someone's dirty sweatshirt on the racks out there. It's brand new stuff.
Brand new.
We often cut the tags off of it just so it's not a distraction, but a lot of brand new quality stuff out there. And our goal is to keep receiving this, to keep providing our accountability reports and tours to our donors who want to come see how it's being used. They keep sending us more after they come see how it's used. We want to keep supplying students, families, and school providers with great stuff that's going to eliminate barriers to students' education. And that's what the whole mission of this is. The whole mission of this is to eliminate barriers that kids have. And so that's why we're getting new uniforms to kids who are going to special schools that require uniforms. We have special partnerships with all kinds of special demographic groups. Like we've always had a good, close working relationship with the TAP schools, even when there were multiple.
Yeah.
Now there's one, but we usually provide a special day each year where lots of those students at the TAP schools, they have to earn it through their school, and they want to do it because they know it's going to greet them. But they come here, they get closer themselves, and then we switch it, and then they get close for their kids.
That's awesome.
And they're leaving with all this brand new stuff for themselves. We have partnerships with Maryhurst, where those girls will come here and have personal shoppers. And lots of times at Maryhurst, where they live, they arrive there through no fault of their own with the clothes on their back. So we're able to get them brand new stuff. They can try it on. We team them up with personal shoppers. Kentucky Refugee Ministries is, as you know, one of our biggest growth areas in the district are all the multiple language learners.
Yes.
So there's a huge influx of families who are brand new to this state and this nation. They often don't have clothes to accommodate the seasonal changes. We have a close partnership with Kentucky Refugee Ministries, especially with Ash McCoy, who knows us very well. And she puts in requests for those families. We have persons who fill those for them. And just as a matter of fact, we also we get all these great donations. So we had 19 brand new Tempur-Pedic mattresses that we're able to get to families served by Kentucky Refugee Ministries just a couple weeks ago. So everything... I'm afraid to say no to any offer that comes up. Maybe sometimes I should, but everything I get, I'm sure somebody will take.
You're going to use it. Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to get it to them. Yeah. And so the stuff that we get, we're able to find. This district is so big and has so many varieties of people looking for so many things. We're going to get it to them. So we say yes, and then when people contact us needing help, we're able to say yes too, and we make a lot of good connections. So my goal is to keep doing that. We're going to be able to do it more efficiently in this new location, and something that is going to be nice, since we're no longer sharing space with a football program or our baseball program that we need to get out of the way for. We're going to have in this new location sort of a constant setup of giveaway tables. So as we're sorting things, instead of packaging it away in bins for an eventual giveaway, we'll be able to have kind of a constant giveaway setup where we can not only have regular giveaways throughout the year, but we can even do some kind of spontaneous things if school service providers need to browse extra stuff. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
What you're going to have on your hands is a retail store.
Yes.
That's exactly what you have. But I'm in agreement with you. I think any and all donations can be utilized in some capacity, whether it's given to students and families, or it may be something that can help elevate the space that we're in, maybe make something more comfortable, more welcoming. I know I did a couple giveaways at the satellite office this past year. One with an organization called The Motherhood. It's founded by Brittany Perry. And I did another giveaway with the Hope Bus with Stacey O'Bussy. And as I'm looking at a lot of the things coming in, like, you can pinpoint this is good, and there's some things you're like, well, what is this? But
somebody's gonna take it.
It all goes.
Yeah.
Like, it will all go. One thing I'm interested in, Justin, is your needs of support for your plans moving forward. Like, is there anything that you need that the district hasn't provided that you would like a little bit more support from the district? Are there any other community partners or organizations you would like to partner with?
Sure. I have to say another shout out to Dr. John Marshall. So back in 2018, I sent him an idea for having some industrial shelving installed, and he signed off on it. And that also allowed us to accept a lot of donations to stash on this shelving.
Yeah.
Asked him for a stacker that would lift these pallets up to 12 feet to put them on the shelving. He signed off on that. So after he signed off on those two things, we were able to start accepting these big corporate donations. Like just last year in 2023, just one of our donation partners, which is the United Breast Cancer Foundation, which is incredible. We encountered them during the pandemic. Just last year, they gave us items valued at $2.1 million. And those included the Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and all these name brands of stuff they snatch up at all these different locations in the country and ship to us. We're the only approved tractor trailer provider that they work with.
Nice.
And they have been amazing. And they've toured this place 3 times. I would love to work more with groups like Hope Bus. We support the Build-A-Bed program. All these district partners, all these good people doing these good things. We love to see what they're doing and get them things to help out. Let's see, in terms of what the district can provide. So typically, when a group comes to us, if it's a PTA group that's hoping to do a campaign, if it's a business like Mercer downtown that wanted to do a campaign for us, we can usually come up with some kind of challenge to give to them. We do have chronic needs. That is always boys and girls pants, and you're looking at that means like what elementary kids would wear, so size 6 through size 16. As you know, anybody who has kids or was a kid knows that kids destroy their pants. Yeah. So we get good donations of all things, but we never have enough kids' pants to really give out. So the one need that we do have would be any kind of jeans, sweatpants. If we have personal shoppers gathering things, usually the stretchier pants are more ideal. We work closely with Metro United Way. They just gave us 200 hygiene kits that we'll give away to families that have had unexpected disruptions in their lives. Another one of our goals here at CAP, and this may not seem like an obvious one, but it certainly is. So this is a place where volunteers can come and volunteer and help out their community and feel productive when they leave. We also offer a lot to student groups of volunteers. So, and I got to give a shout out. So this is a place where students can come and learn some basic skills, workplace skills. I mean, how to interact with people. Just recently, we started a new partnership with Liberty High School. And so 2 days a week, we have a bus with a teacher and Liberty High School students who come and help us do tasks. And these kids have been wonderful. They're high school kids, and they're accomplishing tasks. They're helping us organize things. And our volunteers, who are big-hearted people, make sure they never leave empty-handed. So they're leaving with, a new T-shirt or a stuffed animal or whatever.
Yeah. I love that. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's real cool. I like that.
Have, all year long, we have a group from Bluegrass Center for Autism that comes. We love seeing them. They help us roll socks and belts, fold shirts. So there's all sorts of opportunities, and that's not just about us achieving a task. It's a place where people can come and be a functioning partner, helpful partner in their community.
It's full circle.
Full circle.
It comes full circle.
Yeah,
that's awesome. What would you say is the most rewarding aspect of your role?
Well, selfishly, I have to say that sort of the competition that I give myself is to look at these corporate donations and see how I can grow them. So I did an annual report earlier this year. So our big corporate donation started in 2018. We accepted 23 pallets of brand new clothes from a local retailer distributor, and that was the start of something special. And so it's been a fun challenge for me, and I legitimately get excited about it. And it makes me smile, and it makes me have a lot of pride because I know what it means. But to grow those numbers of corporate donations every year. So like last year, for example, in 2023, we had the equivalent of 10 full tractor trailers of brand new stuff that people paid to have shipped here didn't cost us a thing. They came here. So those are all brand new things coming off a truck that we're sending right out to students and families, and that makes me feel good. And I'm always proud to, when I tell the Friskies or tell counselors or service providers about what we have, what we can offer, I'm excited to see how excited they get about that, because they know what that means when they go back to school and they have some toys to give away, or they have stress balls to give to fifth graders during testing.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy. So that number has grown and grown. That's been very rewarding, and I'm also proud. And I can't take too much credit for this, but the volunteers that we have here, our 7 regular volunteers, are just an amazing group of people. And there's no organization in town that I think would want to go up against them for productivity.
Yeah.
And then there's Julie in the back working hard right now, stacking stuff up. There's just a great productive attitude and contribution of people who come here. And I like, as that poster said, I hope this place is a hopeful lighthouse.
Light, yeah.
And we're in the right part of town. We're doing the right things, and I hope that light continues to shine.
I'll tell you one thing. It's hard to walk away from good leadership. And I think most people match energies, right? When you're creating a positive culture and climate, right? You're human, right? You're empathetic.
Sure.
Those things are hard to go unnoticed, and I think that's an allure for people, right? When you match those characteristics with the cause, it's kind of to me a perfect storm, and I think that's what you've created here.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that helps your volunteers, right? Again, that just brings everything full circle. And coming from a corporate career prior to JCPS, I was a marketing coordinator for a pretty large marketing organization. I worked in sports marketing, and so we were sales driven, and I know firsthand how competitive it is to not only receive corporate donations and dollars, but just getting in contact, right? Finding someone you can partner with in these large organizations, it's tough. And there are a lot of community orgs and businesses. We're all competing for the same resource. So I know personally it's a twofold, right? You're sourcing it, collecting it, and getting it out. And that's a huge feat. Like that is a huge job. And to do that single-handedly with volunteers is just amazing, man.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. And, I guess I have to, I kind of can't help but cringe a little bit. I know you mean well single-handedly, but yeah, the volunteers are dynamite. I have so many people who believe in what we're doing that will help us out. Like, I got to say, too, like the pony drivers.
Oh,
I mean, those guys.
I love those guys.
One of them called me today at 8 o'clock this morning because he brought 2 pallets and wanted to make sure that the door was going to shut okay. I mean, I'm on a... So I tell you, a big part of any job is relationships. Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
it's
and that's worth a lot. So if you a lot of this is making friends. So I'm able to get some wonderful things, and I'm also able to shower people with praise. Maybe I give them a shout out on the Facebook page. I'll do a story about the hardworking pony delivery guy who brought us something. And then we got companies that also give us great things, like Bombas Socks, for example. So when the UPS guy, who also know well, when he shows up with 90 boxes of shirts and I help him unload this truck, I can give him a couple pairs of Bombas Socks. because he's a hardworking guy, and everybody needs a great pair of socks.
Everybody needs good socks. Yeah,
it's you talk about full circle. It's there are a lot of complementary things. Just a positive environment where we're accepting all these things for the right reasons. We're getting to people. We're grateful for people who are not only doing their jobs and helping us, but doing their jobs with a smile and happy to help us.
Yeah. So, Justin, for anyone looking to volunteer, bring a donation, partner, all of the above, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, best place, email. It's one of those long JCPS emails, which is justin.willis@jefferson.kyschools.us. Send me an email, and if you want to come, just take a tour and see it. No expectations, no strings, just walk through and see it. Granted, we're moving, but the new space is also going to have some great tour potential. So send me an email. If you have a donation, the best thing to do, there is some truth to the single-handled part. So if you're going to stop by, you want to make sure that I'm here.
Right,
if you're going to stop by,
right.
So reach out to me and make sure that I'm here that day or what the hours are. It's good to have my cell phone. If you ring the doorbell and don't get an answer, you can call me on my cell. So it's a JCPS cell phone, so you can call that cell phone number too, 502-439-8782. Call me, text me, send me an email. I'm pretty good about getting back. So unless I'm on the phone or driving, I will try to answer and get back with you. And we'll figure out how we can help you help us.
Justin, I appreciate the time, and I wish you the best of luck in the new location. I know the next time I'm definitely going to take a tour, first of all, for sure. But also on the volunteer component, I know myself, I'm going to do
all right.
A little more myself this year, because I'm just amazed by this whole operation. So
thank you
again, man. Thank you, and kudos to you and the team.
Thank you for the podcast. Appreciate the opportunity, Ian.
Yeah.